All right, I'm not fucking moving then. I'm going to keep this exact pose for the entire time. Brought to you by Zero Exposure Shorts, everybody. And my Doug Funny costume.
Which is, this is, it's been about 3 weeks now that I've seen Corey wear this exact outfit every single day that I've seen.
And it will be about 30 years more if I have my way. There really is something to that. I don't know. I don't think that Steve Jobs is the one who made it famous to say, like, decision fatigue and... that's why I wear the same thing every day. I wear this terrible turtleneck and acid wash jeans because it's one less decision. I have more important decisions to make throughout my day. And I don't know, like that got all the rage for a little while in the whole like entrepreneur community. Yeah. Speaking of, I have a very good topic for us to talk about that I went into a YouTube rabbit hole.
Okay.
And
I'm familiar with those.
Yes.
Very familiar.
It was funny. Even my client who is in his 50s the other day, he was talking to me about his wife was out of town. He was like, man, I hate it when my wife goes out of town. I'm up to no good. I'm just eating and drinking and started watching fucking YouTube. And I was like, it's amazing how identical his answers were to this question as ours would be. And I was just like, what were you watching? He was just like, I don't even fucking know. Like just some shit about old movies I've never seen and like history stuff and something about Star Wars. I don't know.
I'm never going to watch this, but let me get the Cliff's Notes in case I ever want to talk about it in conversation with somebody.
I loved that you essentially like played through Red Dead Redemption 2, even though you didn't even own an Xbox 360.
No.
Let alone a current generation console.
No, the newest system I ever got. I don't know if PlayStation 2 or GameCube came out first. But whichever one is okay, so GameCube is the newest system I own.
Yeah, that's a while back.
Yeah,
that's a while back.
But I love the story of Red Dead Redemption 2. It's pretty fantastic.
It's a pretty fantastic. That and God of War, the most recent, were the two games that I've played recently. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is next gen.
It seems like that one of the things from trailers and things like that I've seen for it seems like they decided to change the tone a bit. From like the older games, I remember the older games being very like over the top, like
God of War,
chains everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking emotional, man.
Yeah.
Like the story is so. I don't know what. I haven't gotten deep enough into the game, but so they're in Midgard.
Yeah.
They're not in Greece any longer.
Yeah.
And he has this son. And I think like it's almost like a suicide mission for Kratos. Like his wife died. And like doesn't want to live anymore because his life has just been so terrible as a god. And I'm pretty sure the kid is a god, and he doesn't know whether or not he should like let the kid live because his life as a god was so fucking terrible.
Yeah,
like it's heavy shit.
Yeah, it gives me a very like Logan kind of vibe.
Yes, it's Logan video game.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Which sounds excellent.
In fact, if you want to get hyped about the idea of playing God of War, go to YouTube and don't stay there very long. But go to YouTube.
I can't make any promises.
Type in God of War Logan trailer.
Okay.
Someone chopped up a Logan trailer, but to God of War clips, and it was
with like Johnny Cash and everything.
Yeah, it was that one, and they also did one with what the hell's the name of that band? I really like them. I listen to them all the time, and now I can't remember their fucking name. I must be getting old. They're like Nordic or Norwegian. They sing "Way Down We Go." Calio.
Yes. I think that was actually like real trailers for the game because I remember seeing that like right around when it came out.
That's the best one.
I'm going to turn this plant slightly because like I'm looking at you like split between the leaf.
I like it.
Right there. So now I can actually see
you. You got to read between the tea leaves, the aloe leaves.
Yeah.
That's what that is, by the way, if you didn't know.
Oh, really? Aloe plant, so I can just rub that on my face after we're done.
You could rub that on your face after we're done, except I'm nursing it back to health, so
okay.
I'm not going to speak to the actual performance of said aloe.
Okay.
It may not be of the highest quality.
No.
But anyhow, I got a nice topic for us that I was on my own YouTube rabbit hole. Did you see the Grant Cardone interview with the Wolf of Wall Street?
Oh, my God.
Oh,
the two highest-ranking sociopaths in America. Continue.
It was a bloodbath in favor of...
I'm going to say Wolf of Wall Street.
Absolutely,
yeah.
The Wolf.
He seems like a little more like pulls no punches type.
Well, it also, too, like he cut his teeth in the actual real world.
Yeah.
Like, he was hired by massive organizations to train their salespeople. Like, Grant Cardone's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
And
he wrote a couple books, and then he went on YouTube.
And he was exposed to some degree. If you really want a good breakdown of it, watch Meet Kevin, who is actually one of my real estate YouTube channels, but he covers personal finance in general, and he also has been sued like 3 times by Grant Cardone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he calls him out all the time, to the point where he actually sells a shirt on his channel. You know, on YouTube channels, they have those little Teespring apparel. He has a shirt that's "Don't sue me, bro."
Okay.
But anyways, he made a video like.
So he did a video breakdown of this interview?
Yes, he did like a Robin Black breakdown of Grant Cardone and Jordan Belfort.
Every technical loophole that fucking.
And he
what's
himself,
Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort? That's his name?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And cousin to Vitor. But and Kevin,
probably.
Meet Kevin is a real estate agent, so he himself is a very successful salesperson.
Yeah.
So he kind of contribute to this conversation. But at the end of the day, really what the takeaway was is that Grant Cardone really doesn't have a lot of substance in terms of, like Jordan Belfort kept saying, like, what is your strategy to teach a salesperson? Like, and they kept coming up with situations like, okay, like, you know how Grant Cardone always has that story about how he when he didn't have anything to sell, he sold fish.
Yes,
like
he went door to door and sold fish.
Yeah, and he was like, all right, well, like when you were selling fish, he was like, what was your pitch? Like, how did you, the whole, remember, Jordan Belfort is the guy, sell me this pen.
Yeah.
Right? He's the guy who created that.
Yeah.
So he's like, what was your pitch? And Grant Cardone's like, my pitch was, I got some fish. Who wants fish? And he was just like, he didn't have actual substantive answers to his questions, so he kept kind of playing like the "this is stupid" card.
Yeah.
Like very petty.
Which is ironic considering, like, in his actual book, how much he talks about, like, role-playing and preparing for every possible scenario.
Yes.
It really makes you wonder if he actually wrote those books.
Well, and the crazy thing, I don't think he did, but the crazy thing is he had a segment of the interview where they were saying, okay, you're going door to door. Someone says they're not interested. What do? Do you take no for an answer? And Grant was like, well, no, I don't believe that they're not interested. He's like, what do you mean? They told you face to face, I'm not interested. And they begin to shut the door. And he goes, well, I believe that not interested is a level of interest. And it was just Looney Tunes, like
the complete opposite of what you're looking for.
And Jordan Belfort was like, well, no, so you're going to argue that people should, like, wait. He's like, I would tell my salespeople, like, qualify your leads. Spend the most amount of time on the most qualified leads. People who are ready, willing, and able to purchase your product. Like, that's what you should, that's sales. It's like whittling down. Like, okay, here's all my leads. Here are the ones that are actually worth a shit. Let me spend my time trying to peddle my wares to the people who have been whittled down.
Yeah.
It's like with personal training. When we sell personal training, one of the biggest problems with personal training in terms of selling it is that there's only one way to sell it, which is do it for free.
Yeah.
And everyone will sign up for free stuff.
Yeah.
So legitimately, you can spend your time in front of somebody that you can refine your pitch. You could be the greatest salesperson of personal training in history. This person is not qualified to purchase your product. Yeah. They don't have the money. They're not in control of their own pocketbook. Like, they will not purchase. They are not a legitimate lead. Yeah. They're just somebody who's signing up for free shit.
Yeah.
Like, free personal training is like, I don't know, free pizza. Someone's like, hey, I'm just here for the free fucking pizza. I'm not here I don't want to actually be a patron of your restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm here because there's free pizza.
Yeah. And you can detect that very easily.
Yeah.
In the process. Like, there comes a certain point where, like, you realize everything you're saying is just in one ear, out the other.
And it's fatiguing.
Yeah.
It's fatiguing because there's nothing you can do, and my advice to be would be like a young personal trainer because that's really, we should make a video about this, but my advice to a young person interested in getting into the fitness industry is learning to sell training.
Yeah.
Because that's how you can actually make money. You work with a wide variety of people from lots of different backgrounds, and you actually get good at the craft of training that way. That way, if you do decide later on down the line, hey, I just want to be a coach, I don't really want to do a lot of business and sales, which good luck to figure that one out. But, theoretically, you've got the most important skill down. Being just a coach should be easy at that point. But anyways, I digress. I was illustrating the point with PT to kind of talk. I agree with Jordan Belfort in this particular scenario.
You have to go to the people who actually are going to want what you have to sell.
Yeah, and
who are actually going to have the potential to buy it.
Yes. If you're selling Mercedes, don't spend your time in West Philly.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a couple guys in West Philly who could definitely
don't go past like 48th Street.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and if you do, there's going to be some guys that they're going to pay in cash.
Yeah.
They're going to pay you in straight cash.
Yeah. Oh, but they'll buy that Mercedes.
Oh, they will buy the sales god. Remember him? That's an inside joke.
Oh, I wonder what happened to that lime green Lamborghini.
Yep, we encountered a guy in the fitness industry who we won't say here nor there, but he was probably 21, 22. Or do you think he was older?
Maybe like mid-20s, mid to late 20s.
And he lived in like a dilapidated row house in West Philly and drove a lime green Lamborghini and was supposedly about to pay rent for a facility in Center City, Philadelphia that was like to the tune of like $20,000 a month.
Yeah.
And something didn't add up.
Yeah. Somehow, after about 6 months, there was no more gym in that spot.
And one of his young employees told us that he paid them all in brown paper bags filled with cash.
Yeah.
I wonder what he was selling. He was selling a lot of something.
There was definitely a lot of something. I'd imagine a lot of brown paper bags were involved in that
product.
in that transactional process.
But anyhow, back to Grant Cardone kept kind of going back to like non-disputable things. Like he's like, okay, well, like what's the solution? He's like, well, the solution is to have a lot of people to talk to, or like the solution is to have a full sales funnel. And he's like, if I'm not selling product, I need more people. I need a bigger funnel. I need to talk to more people if I'm not pushing enough product. And really, what it came down to is, number one, like there's still a lot of questions about Grant Cardone in terms of like what does he really do? Like it seems like how he actually makes money is this whole real estate thing, like Cardone Capital, where you're a qualified investor and he goes to find these big like office buildings.
Yeah.
And rents them out and makes money that way. And it's almost like investing in the stock market, except you're investing in real estate. Like he's going to go find these great deals, and that's how you're going to make money on your returns on your investments. But like his actual sales organization, like there's a lot of questions. Like, have you ever seen that video about the guy? It's his first day at Grant Cardone's company or something.
I try to avoid Grant Cardone on the internet, but
and I do now too. But it's a video of this kid, and they're having him do cold calls, and I think they did it to like, almost like send a message of like you gotta want it to work here, but it was just a fucking terrible situation. Like they give this kid no guidance. They're like, okay, here's what you're selling. You got to make 300 phone calls before you leave today, or you're fired.
Yeah.
And he's like, who do I call? They're like, figure it out. He's like, so I can call anyone in the United States of America. I guess so. Like they were trying not to tell him.
How do we make this look as difficult as possible?
Yeah, and then like the phone doesn't work, and he's like, it made his company look like a fucking joke. Like the phone didn't work, the computer didn't work. So finally, they were just like, no excuses. Use your cell phone.
Yeah,
use your cell phone. So he's like, I think there was even a portion. He's like, what exactly am I selling? We're like, you're selling it all, bro. What the fuck are we talking about? Like, I understand, but this isn't the Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
Like, this is selling.
You're selling that tight little ass, boy.
Yeah.
Now get out there.
I mean, he's a Scientologist, so I don't know.
That's not beyond the question.
So, anyhow, my takeaway personally, and if you watch the Meet Kevin video, is kind of his too, and two things I have on it after taking in the information. I'd say number one, Grant Cardone is a marketer, not a salesperson.
Yes.
I think he would be very qualified to teach other people how to market, how to be a digital marketer. I think he's got that down.
Yeah.
And I also think that the reason I don't really like his content anymore, because I'm not going to lie to you, his book, Sell or Be Sold, is a great book. I really enjoyed it. Like, I think it was well written. I think a lot of the ideas were clear and concise and actionable, and it's a good book. I have yet to see anything that resembles that book in any of his other content.
It is. There is
Nothing.
a little dichotomy there.
Yeah.
Things are very, very inverted in the world of our boy Grant.
Yeah. And I don't know. It definitely, and then he did a whole video where he followed up on it, and he like called Jordan Belfort out as like, and he kept like saying like really weird things to him about like something about like the real world, or like what would, because Jordan Belfort said a couple times like, no, Grant, like I'm just asking you, like what would you do in the real world? He goes, my real world's different than yours, bro. He goes, your real world's everybody's on Quaaludes.
Oh, low blow.
And then he kept saying something like, we should do a cage match, man. You and me. We should do a cage match. We get a lot of views. We'd sell tickets.
He went like hardcore Scientology on him.
And then
did he call him an SP?
No.
He didn't call him a suppressive person? Okay.
But Jordan Belfort was just like, all right, you want to fight? He's like, what are you talking about? Like, we're talking about sales on a podcast.
We're supposed to be two of like the top guys in this field.
It was weird, man. It was really, really weird.
It's like, well, my dick's bigger.
Yeah. It was very schoolyardy in that regard. He was just grasping for whatever he got. But.
He projects this like even Jordan Belfort. Like I feel like prison probably like wizened him up a bit.
Yeah,
I haven't watched much of him anymore, but
he's good. He actually has some real like he's been hired by actual Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah.
To train their salespeople.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah, because everything he did worked. It just wasn't legal.
Yes. Yes. He
it worked until they figured out how far he was.
Him
taking
and Sales God actually had a similar
yeah, actually
similar backgrounds.
Very very similar trajectory there.
But you got I know how much you love that sort of stuff, so I'm going to highly recommend that you check out that,
now
that
I need
series
to see
of
it.
videos.
Grant Cardone, man, that guy.
Grant Cardone. He's fun to talk about though, because he's such an outrageous personality, and it's just like I don't know, his stuff is just most of his content is just absolute crap.
Yeah.
Like it's just he has all these podcasts that get millions of views a week, and they say the same thing every week. Every fucking week. It's just like, man, we're going to talk about how to make $1 million this week. Are you guys excited? You excited? let's do it, man. I'm hyped. And that's like
you gotta want $1 million.
Step one. And then like how to make money investing in real estate. And then he has that one like every Monday. And he's always like the first step. It basically is like it's just a continuous commercial for his own capital investment firm.
Yeah.
And he basically just keeps saying like, you got to be a qualified investor. Then you find a guy like me. And you give your money to a guy like me. You don't know the deals like I do. I got the deals. You got to find that money, man. You got to bring him to me. And that people watch it and enjoy it.
He's like an evangelical preacher. That's really what he is. Yeah, like you said, marketing. That's his skill.
Yes.
Marketing and sales. There's similar lines there, but very different in terms of actual
practice.
Actionable practice.
Yes.
Jesus.
What rabbit holes have you been down recently?
What rabbit hole? Well, Red Dead Redemption got old.
Yeah. You had to move on. You realized that you weren't actually going to ever play the game, so that
well, I mean, there's other games that I'm never going to play too, so
you might as well jump into God of War or Spider-Man.
Yeah. The Spider-Man game is good.
Oh fuck yeah!
Okay,
I've
heard a lot of good things about it, but it seems like that's just like every console generation just has its open world Spider-Man game.
It's such a franchise. It's a franchise that translates to video games very well.
Yeah,
like how are you gonna make a Thor game?
Yeah, it's kind of true. Did you hear about the split with Marvel and Sony there?
No.
Have you heard about that? They so apparently time came around to sort of renegotiate the terms of their deal.
Okay.
Right? They had Spider-Man for I think 5 movies was what they contracted originally.
Okay.
So Disney and Sony sat down, and essentially what Sony wanted was for just the Spider-Man specific movies, not the Venom and all the other weird spin-off shit.
The Tom Holland.
They wanted to do now like a 50-50 split. I think there's something where like Marvel only made like 3% of the profits off of like the Spider-Man
movies.
They made money off of Avengers and Infinity War and all that stuff. And Sony basically said, no, we're not doing that, and just walked out. Like, didn't come back with a counteroffer or anything. They're just like, we'll do it on our own.
We're taking the movies and we're
going to do our own thing. So, yeah, there's like this weird gray area of like what the next step is. And like nobody at Marvel is really saying anything. They're just like, we didn't think it would happen. We got to make 5 great movies with Spider-Man as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
More than we thought.
Yeah, like they're kind of like just ready to leave it at that. And Sony's basically, they're going to make a 3rd Tom Holland Spider-Man. But as to what that will be, nobody. But there's a tricky part because the director was contracted for Marvel, not for Sony.
They could find. They're a dime a dozen.
Yeah, but it kind of leaves this ambiguous, like,
well, if anything,
what
I
are we
think
going to get in the next one?
Marvel could fuck them over in terms of like, oh, you want to use that character? That's going to be tough because that's a Marvel character. Like, I'm sure they own the rights for all of the characters unless they just want to make, like, I don't know, like, I wonder how that's – is it just they own the entire Spider-Man franchise and all of his – like, no one – they would just have to make all of the movies be Spider-Man versus the bad guy. They couldn't ever have, like, Iron Man, or they couldn't ever have Thor or Captain America.
More or less what it's kind of similar to, like, how Fox had the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
And they could use any of the X-Men characters, and they could use the word mutant. Marvel was not allowed to use the word mutant.
Really?
In there. That's why, so like, dumb. When Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch showed up, there was, like, a whole weird backstory that they added to them, and they weren't Magneto's kids and all that stuff. So it's a similar situation with Spider-Man. That's why they made, like, the Venom movie, and it was, like, its own separate thing outside of Spider-Man continuity. There's other characters in there, too. Morbius, the living vampire. I don't know if you remember that from the...
No.
They had him in the cartoon, but he had, like, these... They couldn't have him bite people, so they gave him these weird, like, leech fingers. Yeah, it was a weird little loophole there. But he's a vampire guy. He's going to be played by Jared Leto, and that's going to be
that's fitting.
That's a beautiful turd.
That's
but yeah, so there's things are not well in the House of Ideas.
I'm kind of I don't know many more of those movies I could do, to be completely honest with you, though. Like, just the recipe is so known at this point. Like, I feel the same way about Star Wars. I never thought I would say that. Yeah. I never, ever, ever thought I would say, I just, like, everybody loved Rogue One. I just was like, the good guys win. The universe is saved. We need just them to pull, like, we need something really weird to happen at the end of The Rise of Skywalker, which is a confusing goddamn title, by the way. Why is it Rise of the Skywalker? I thought he died.
I haven't seen any of the Star Wars since Last Jedi, so not even Last Jedi. What was the one before? Force Awakens. Yeah. Not Force Unleashed. That should have been the movie.
That should have been
the movie.
They
should have just made Force Unleashed a movie.
It would have been a great flick.
Those were some of probably alongside of Battlefront, the best Star Wars games ever made.
Yeah.
Battlefront kind of gave you, like, all the cool aspects.
They had to bring back Battlefront and ruin it, though.
I remember playing a very little bit of that game and not digging it at all.
Yeah, they also they fucked up, like, one of the things that you absolutely cannot fuck up in a video game, which is how the character runs. I'll never forget. Do you remember when they remade Perfect Dark for the Xbox 360? They called it Perfect Dark Zero.
Never played it.
It was, like, very anticipated.
Yeah.
And there's just a way that the characters run. They have, like, this weird, like, shimmy. And it was just comedic. Like, you couldn't take it seriously. Like, what the fuck are they doing this? Like, this is no way to run.
They just, like, kind of, like, skip their way across.
No, it's not even skip. It's almost like it's like the way Beyonce walks down a catwalk with, like, hips to the side. But that's how they just ran. And it was nonsensical. Like me and my friends would just play it. Like, I can't believe they fucking... Like, how does this get out of the editing room?
Yeah.
Like, this is not a good idea. And Battlefront had the same way. Like, the characters running were just like, there's a little too much hip. And you're just like, this is weird. I can't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Anyhow, speaking of hips, MMA. How about that for a transition, huh?
we'll give it like a 6 out of 10.
That didn't deserve that. That was a 4.
Okay, yeah.
On a good day.
Yeah.
Have you followed up with sort of the aftermath of 241?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Last I heard was that Masvidal is totally game for the Nate Diaz fight, which I knew right away. I called that when we were before that fight even started. I don't know if you remember, we were sitting there and I said, if he wins, I want to see him fight Masvidal.
Yeah.
First words out of his mouth, I want George Masvidal.
I want to defend my belt against George Masvidal. Had a good fight. And you know who I really want to see Masvidal fight? I want to see Masvidal fight Khabib. Just because he's a little bigger than him.
Yeah.
But I just think he has this way of he's so well-rounded, man. Like there's nowhere you can take the fight. That's why I guess actually I'm sort of, as I described this, selling myself on Masvidal versus Nate as well, because both those guys, where are you safe?
Yeah.
Versus either of those guys.
Honestly, that was the best I've ever seen Nate.
Yeah.
Like that was I was going into 241, like there was a part of me that was almost like I don't really know what's going to happen with any of these fights. But like I kind of want to bet money. Like if I had bet money on those fights, I probably would have had a huge return because I kind of envisioned all those little upsets. Like,
you would have taken Stipe? I would not have taken Stipe.
Part of me, I didn't think it was likely, but I wanted him to win.
Yeah.
Like for his own story arc, I wanted him to get that redemption shot.
Yeah.
So like that, I probably would have.
In retrospect, I'll be honest with you. I love Daniel Cormier. It's very much a case, in my opinion, of Daniel lost the fight more so than Stipe won it. And all credit to Stipe. He won, and he's redeemed as he should be. But I have no fucking idea what Daniel Cormier was thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just standing right in front of him the entire fight. And it was I guess here's the critique to my critique, is that it was working.
Yeah.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's kind of the nature of standing flat-footed right in front of somebody. I think he sort of felt like he had felt Stipe's power in the first fight, didn't bother him.
Yeah.
And he had felt Stipe's power, obviously, quite a lot in that fight and wasn't bothered by him.
Yeah.
And he knew that he had knocked him out the first go-around.
So he probably felt like he could do it again.
And he couldn't. I mean, he hit him with everything but the goddamn kitchen sink.
Yeah,
and
it was
Stipe,
literally the lucky punch. Like, that's how he won it.
Yeah, and you look back, I mean, right before Stipe fought Cormier initially, a couple months before, he had fought Ngannou.
Yeah.
And probably got those fucking brains rattled real nice. So
nice and soupy.
Yeah, so also, too, I hate to say it, but Brendan Schaub kind of called this. Stipe's, man, it's hard watching him get interviewed sometimes. Like, I don't know how he talked years ago, but he certainly sounds like a guy who's in the early stages of being punch drunk.
Yeah. Well, if you just like look at Stipe now versus like when he was coming up, like before he got the belt, when he was just like another heavyweight working through the ranks, he looks like decades older.
Yeah.
Like I saw a picture of him young. It
Yeah.
was like a career retrospective video, and they had like his face from like his first UFC promo shot, and it looks like a completely different guy. Like his head looks like a skull now.
He is old. I mean, he's in athletic years. He's 36. I mean, that's old.
It is, but like he shouldn't look like that.
Yeah. And he also, too, this last fight, I mean, it seemed to play in his favor, but he was very skinny in this fight. Like, he's never been a heavy guy, but it seemed almost he had lost a little bit of definition in terms of overall muscle mass.
Yeah. He's a little more gaunt.
Yeah.
That could be part of what I'm describing.
Well,
too.
he weighed less than DC.
Yeah, which is weird.
And he's, what, 7 inches taller?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not close in terms of height.
Yeah.
And very odd that he would, be outweighed by a guy who's, what, 5'9" or 10?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a weird fight. But, yeah, Nate looked as good as possible. And then fucking Paulo Costa versus Yoel Romero,
Just
man.
rock'em sock'em robots.
Yeah,
that was
those-
beautiful.
Those savages. I'll tell you what, you got to give it to Paulo Costa. I mean, he had that fight with Yoel Romero.
Yeah.
That's a dude.
Not many people have
That's
been able
a
to
dude.
to stand toe to toe like that with Romero.
And unquestionably, in my opinion, won the fight. I know there was some controversy ex post facto that maybe I didn't see. I thought it was pretty clear 2-1.
In the moment, at watching the fight initially, I was definitely like rooting for Romero, but it's kind of the same thing that like always worked against Nick Diaz, where it's like you can't just make faces at the guy. You got to do something. You can't like. I know you want to tell him that his punches don't hurt, but they still get points. And that's where he was losing.
I'll see you, boy. I'll see you, boy.
Just like sticking his tongue out like after every single. I love it. Like I love seeing that stuff.
It's a shame because I can
unfortunately that doesn't win the fight.
I can actually do a really good Yoel Romero impression, but I like talking normally. And doing the Yoel Romero too long will make me lose my voice.
Yes.
You know what's
you
funny?
can feel it like drain energy from your vocal cords.
Yeah, you could just feel two things rubbing against each other.
I know you.
Yeah. You can feel two things rubbing against each other that ought not be rubbing against each other.
Yeah.
And I initially lost my voice when I was a kid for like 5 days because I was doing. I used to do a Louis Armstrong voice. I used to do a Louis Armstrong voice and I used to do a Yoda voice.
Yeah.
And then I would do like this really deep, like, brr. I don't even want to do it because I'm kind of got PTSD.
You're scarred from this.
Yeah,
voice.
I'm telling you. Like, I actually used to be a somewhat decently powerful singer. Like, if I really wanted to sing, I actually had surprising range for a guy who's got a deeper voice.
Yeah.
That is gone. Like, I credit my friend fucking, shout out to Luke, my buddy Luke's basement. Thus ended my singing career.
Oh no!
So, anyways,
too much Louis Armstrong.
Too much Louis Armstrong.
He tried to sing "What a Wonderful World" beginning to end, and
my buddy Chris, shout out to Chris too. He had a cover of that song that he recorded, like playing the guitar by himself or something.
So you did vocals for it?
No, he did his own cover version of it, and he called it "Skies a Boo" because he couldn't make it out that he was saying "Skies a Blue." You know that song.
How old were you when you did this?
I don't know. 13.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
He had a little sound recorder, kind of like the one we're talking into right now, ironically enough.
Wow.
But
come full circle.
It is. It's coming now. I'm the one
sure you
with the
can't give
recording.
us a little Louis Armstrong?
Positive. Positive.
That's gone now.
It's gone now.
I don't live that. That's the closest you can get right there. This is all I got.
You see that DVD on my you can feel free to get up and look at it.
An Idiot Abroad.
Yes.
Okay, what do we got here?
So that was Ricky Gervais.
Okay.
And that is Carl Pilkington. So basically, the reason I have this, my client Walt, shout out Walt, I'm getting a lot of shout outs today. I was telling him a story about our good friend Pete.
Ah, okay.
And he thinks, and I think, that we should do with Pete what they did with Carl Pilkington.
Oh, boy.
And they basically just, like, they did precisely what we've always dreamed of doing with Pete. And for those who don't know who Pete is.
The congressman, for those of you who have been listening since the old episodes.
Yes. I'll say very generally, we know him in multiple capacities, so I don't want to, cross ties that shouldn't be crossed, but he's a guy that we met at a gym.
Mm-hmm.
And he at first appearance, he seemed as if he was someone important.
Yes.
He's very good at giving that initial impression of I am someone to be taken seriously.
Yeah, well, he's a congressman.
No, so
he was a congressman.
He was a constable. Constable. There's a difference.
It's yeah,
Yeah, I mean, constable's higher.
Yeah.
He would have you believe. But anyways, he is a guy.
He's basically the chief of police.
And it turns out that he is not. He is none of those things. He is probably a guy who we're not going to say he's a transient type of fellow.
Yeah, not exactly homeless.
Yeah, on the spectrum of homeless, but more of he was a traveler.
Yeah, I think it's more he just liked to be amongst the people.
that, you know, you're fucking. I feel motivated now.
He's there for his constituents.
He is amongst the people. But anyways, he is a very eccentric character, and we always have had this hypothesis that if we were to share him with the internet, he would be a star.
Yes.
But we didn't know how to navigate these waters because Pete is because of his eccentricity. There are those who may think that we would be having fun at his expense.
No.
Which would be mildly true. But at the same time, he would be compensated for his time in some way, shape, or form.
And he would have fun along with it.
Yeah.
Like, we're not taking advantage of the congressman.
Not going to make him, like, walk into traffic or anything.
No.
You know, just interview him. Get his thoughts on the current events in the world.
Yeah.
The recession. Tell us about the recession, Congressman.
He's experiencing it firsthand.
He is. He is at the ass end of the recession.
Yeah.
Anyways, I wanted to explain.
How do we get a hold of it? We got to figure out how to get a hold of it.
I have my ways.
Okay.
I have my tendrils still in that world.
There we go. He's out there.
My little birds are always gathering information.
Oh, no.
But, anyways.
So, yeah, I have no idea what the synopsis of this show is. So what do they do with the idiot abroad?
So the difference in this situation, why I'm not certain that we would get away with what we wanted to do, is that I don't believe that this man has any diagnosable disabilities.
Okay.
I think he's just an odd dude.
He doesn't have a bad case of mito?
No, he does not have mitochondrial disease.
Yeah.
That's also known as... Go ahead.
For those of you who don't know what mitochondrial disease is, the technical explanation is that you reach a certain age in your life, and what starts to happen is your cells begin to die. That goes by another name, though, Corey. What is that other name for it?
Aging.
Yes, aging. So
yes.
our friend the congressman suffers from aging.
Yep. I saw him recently. I was driving up near Temple. I went with some friends of mine to a apartment at Temple, and there was drinking, and I'm a sober guy. It was bad, but I didn't have a good time.
That sounds like a bad time.
It was a bad time.
It was a Temple party,
kind of like a shitty 7 people party.
Like how? Oh, what?
Yeah, it was bad.
Everybody's almost 30 now. Why are we still doing that?
I got sold. Seller be sold. I got sold.
Damn it.
And then I was the guy who was like, nah, you know what, though? I wasn't upset about, the loss of my time. I was just upset that now I've created a $20 Uber ride for myself.
Oh, that's the worst.
But anyhow, Carl Pilkington is he's like a sound engineer.
Okay.
And he's just like a kind of a curmudgeonly, simpleton. He just likes to, they send him all over the world to these exotic locations here.
Yeah.
And he's a guy who's he just likes to go to the beach with his dog and drink beer.
Yeah.
That's all he wants to do. They sent him to they sent him to Taj Mahal, and he's upset about it. He's like, why am I doing this? I don't like this. You're being paid, Carl. Damn it. Just do it. And then they had a podcast with him for a while. So if there is a model into which we can fit our friend the congressman, it is this model. So you may watch it when I'm done.
I think we're onto something there.
We are definitely onto something. We
just you wait, internet.
Oh man.
We have such wonders to show you.
Do you think that those Stern and those like him would be able to get away with a whack pack in today's day and age?
I think the thing is that in today's day and age, the whack packers have the power themselves.
Yeah.
You know, we want to talk about YouTube rabbit holes. You're familiar with Jason Genova, right?
A little bit, yeah.
You know, he's got a whole crew. They're called the Delray Misfits.
Can you tell me about? I have encountered him a few times, but I don't fully know this story. So Can you give me a synopsis of the story?
So Jason Genova,
he's a fitness guy, right? But he's he's not. Is there something wrong with this individual?
So the only thing that Jason Genova has really been diagnosed with is ADHD.
Okay.
But if you look at him and watch his videos, you gain an appreciation that there's a lot more going on there than just ADHD. But he can still function in the world.
Yeah.
There's nothing he can navigate.
Yeah.
He'll be all right.
Yeah.
but he has like a whole crew. One, he's a giant Star Wars nerd.
Okay.
And
shout out to that's great.
Yeah, anytime he gets in a beef with somebody on the internet, he orders 66s them.
That's pretty cool.
And he sends his entire hordes to just spam all of their social media platforms, and
I kind of like that. You're, so far, I'm in favor of this guy.
Yes, he is. He's got his own nickname. I forget exactly what his. It's not like Lord Vader, but he's got something similar along those lines. Like he's got a whole bunch of aliases. I'll send you videos for homework, so we can
I'll send you the Grant Cardone, Jordan Belfort videos. Yeah. You'll send me those.
But so he has an entire crew. So it started. Jason was the first one to really achieve internet stardom. He started making videos. He got into bodybuilding. He was a big fan of like Rich Piana.
Oh, didn't he like win a bodybuilding show or something? Because he wasn't in that good a shape, but he won the contest because like all of his crew voted him up or something like that.
Something along those lines. Yeah, like he has a very supportive group around him. You know, so he actually was a fan of Rich Piana. He wanted to collaborate with Rich Piana, and Rich Piana just kind of blew him off. So he ordered 66 Rich Piana. Which, like, people, when you get Order 66, like, it's no holds barred. Like, you're getting death threats. Like, you're getting, like, every manner of attack against you. So he wound up meeting Rich Piana at a fitness expo because he's still a fan. And Rich Piana recognized him from the Order 66. So they got into a slap fight. Which was not very well received by the community.
Wait, like an organized,
like a slap boxing match. Like they're gonna take turns smacking each other.
But they agreed to it and like, let's film this and make some content out of this. It wasn't like, no, like fuck you for real slap.
Yeah, no, it was like you owe me and he's like, I'm sorry for the Order 66. He's like, well, let's have a slap fight. And he's like, okay, let's have a slap fight. And let's just say Rich Piana's a little bit more coordinated than Jason Genova. So it was kind of a bad look for Rich Piana. Rest in peace. But Jason Genova has an entire crew called the Delray Misfits. There's Big Lenny, who is like a 6'5" former bodybuilder who has like that super distended muscle belly. Like, this cannot be fixed. This is just out here, but there's still cuts on it, like it's bad, but he still like sprays hands a bunch too, so like he looks like a form of leather.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
And that's just like the tip of there's other guys in that crew, but those are like the stars.
Okay.
So they're like the equivalent of a whack pack now.
Okay.
And they have their own podcast and they have their own videos and channels they make and promote themselves. Like that's kind of the situation you're in, is that the whack packs exist, but they're unionized.
Well, if there's one man who's going to stand up for the unions in this country,
we know who that man is.
We know who he is.
We need the theme for the Last of the Mohicans.
Oh man, if there's one thing that would make me happier than anything else, this is my truest dream. Like fuck money, fuck fame. I want this thing.
Yeah,
I want there to be some sort of online, like, streamed event where there is a wrestling match taking place.
Yes.
And I want the music. It's called Promontory, for those who are listening. It's the theme song for the Blast of the Mohicans. I want that to play. I want the congressman. We can call him Pete.
Yeah, we can call him Pete.
I don't know if we're going to use his full name yet, but we'll call him Pete. He would actually, to your point, he would have, your previous point that you've made in other podcasts, he would love for us to use his name. He's trying to get his name out there.
Yes.
But
the head of the Roosevelt Bentman Trust.
Yes. And the Franklin Conservancy.
Yes. Wait, which one is it?
Alongside. He's a very desired guy. He's at the head of he's on a lot of boards.
Yeah.
But if for there to be a wrestling match, that music is playing. He walks out in some sort of like colonial garb.
Oh my god!
Like that's his like his walk to the ring attire
Yeah.
is some sort of like Paul Revere Halloween costume.
Yeah.
With a powdered wig and everything.
Yeah, I mean, he's the son of the American Revolution.
He is. He is.
His
And
family has
the
been
Friendly
here.
Sons of St. Patrick.
Yeah.
But anyhow. And then you and I are behind him dressed like Mick from the Rocky.
Yes.
And then he promptly goes out, and I don't know who he's wrestling. I don't know how it goes. I really don't care if he wins or loses. I mean, I don't have to hope too hard. I'm sure he'll win.
We want him to win. We want the congressman to win.
And then that's it. At the end, I don't know what else happened because I assume that I die and ascend to Nirvana after that happens. Like, I don't care about the ex post facto. Just at that point, I will have ascended. Life has been complete.
It'll be like Rocky 3. He'll just collapse against the wall. Be like, Corey, what's wrong? What's wrong, Corey? I love the idea of Pete outliving you.
Yes.
So now we have to like have a series of movies where he has to move on from your death and find a new trainer.
If you told me that we could have like 1 million YouTube subscribers or have that happen, I wouldn't think about it at all. Like, the answer is that. Like, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because
It'd be
guess what?
pretty beautiful.
That would achieve the 1 million subscribers.
Yes. No, that's how we get it. Oh. We have to organize this.
You know what really upsets me about the YouTube algorithm, though? Now that we're posting videos, hopefully this works.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that this doesn't work. So if you're seeing this video, this is despite all odds, because so far our endeavor to film these has been failure after failure after failure. Yeah. So I'm going to assume that camera is not functioning at the moment, although it is blinking. Do you see the blinking?
Yeah, I don't see the blinking, but I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Yeah, it could be blinking like, hey, I'm off, or I'm in rest mode or something.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Ready to record.
I refuse to make the stupid faces on the thumbnails. Like, I don't want all of our videos to just be like, I'm not doing that.
I mean, I have no shame.
No, but it's not a stupid thing in terms of like, oh, I don't want to look like an idiot. It's so over fucking done.
Yeah.
Every YouTube video is somebody pointing towards something going,
and it's like a green background.
Yeah, every fucking one.
Green would just look like a green screen. It's like, but there's like a color palette at play. I got you.
I had another
rant. We got a lot of different variations we can do.
Yeah, I'm sure the thumbnail for this is just going to be us. I might try to put some text on it, maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
you make something fancy for it.
I had another.
Doesn't have to be crazy fancy.
I had another rant that I wanted to tell you about before I forget.
Ah, okay.
Towels at the gym.
Yes.
For those out there, stop using the towels at the gym. They're disgusting.
Yeah.
And it's not anything that we're specifically doing to the towels at locations at which we've worked. In general, public towels are fucking disgusting.
Yeah, makeup doesn't just come out. That's gross.
And like, so there was a guy who came up to the front desk the other day, and he was making a stink that there were no towels. And I kind of know this guy. So I felt comfortable in lecturing him. So I was like, hey, let me ask you. And his name was not Bob. But I was like, Bob, can I ask you a question? He's like, sure. Do you really think that these are like high, like, why do you even use these towels? That's exactly what I asked him. Like, they're repulsive. And he's like, what do you mean? I go, I saw somebody last week. It was a good gentleman who was probably about 85 years old. And he was taking a towel that looks just like the one that you're looking for right now, a large bath towel. He had one hand on one end of the towel, one on the other.
Just flossing away.
Just flossing away.
That's a thing. That's a really big thing. My dad saw that at a YMCA he had to work in one time. He opened the door and like not only did he walk in, but like he had to like hold the door open because like guys were carrying a ladder through the doorway, and this guy's just going to town on his gooch.
And then at the same towels, people don't understand that they are not for wiping down equipment. So they spray disinfectant chemicals on them.
Yeah.
They rub them down. So you have a mixture of chemicals and asshole.
Yeah.
And then you're just rubbing it on your face.
Yeah. Let me clean myself up here.
Like, maybe don't use these fucking towels.
Yeah.
And
but also, if you are going to, like, don't just take it and not use it either. Like, I think that needs to be said as well. Because that's a towel that could be used for some...
There's an old man who could be flossing with that towel.
Realistically, like, unless you're at, like, a high-end health club, you probably just there shouldn't be towels at the gym. Or, like, bring your own towel to the gym if you feel like you need it that badly. But, like, like, unless this is a $1,000 a month facility, like, why are there towels?
And it's all the time, like, the front desk guy is, like, a part-timer. He doesn't give a fuck, so he just, like, cold washes them. It's like, oh, whoops.
He's not reading how that works.
Yeah, I don't.
You're lucky if it gets bleached.
Every... I don't know, a couple months it's a good bleach.
I mean, I try to keep that regular. We shouldn't disparage.
No, but I mean, just in general.
Just by the nature of being a towel that is used and washed and reused.
Because that's the thing, like, it's not like the owner of the gym is there cleaning the towels all the time. Like, they have part-time employees. They have people who are not there very often.
Or it's not like they're fresh towels.
Yeah, they've been
like
years
it's not like
old.
these are being used being used and disposed of at the end of the day. Like, you're getting someone else's.
You're getting the floss towel.
Yes,
that's been.
You're never getting away from the floss towel.
No, you are rubbing your face with the floss towel.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah, no towels at the gym. I'm not a fan.
No towels at the gym. I'm really upset because I had something that I wanted to transition directly into, and it is completely
gone. Oh, damn it. I hate when that happens.
Oh, it is completely fucking gone. Okay, what's the backtrack here?
Okay.
Towels at the gym. Rants.
We were talking about Pete. We were talking about UFC 241. Were you going to make another bad segue from towels?
Likely yes, but that's not going to help jog the memory.
Okay.
God damn it. Oh, well. It'll come to me. More.
Did you hear Conor saying that he wants Khabib to be his first fight back?
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Did you see BJ Penn got knocked out in a bar fight?
No.
He got in his, 8th bar fight this year and got actually knocked
BJ.
out by, a...
I thought BJ was a pretty, chill dude. I always, figured he would be like that.
The worry is that he's CTE'd up.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Because he's what, 0-8 in his last 8 fights? And they gave him another fight.
Oh, God.
And then Dana came out and he was like, oh, I guarantee it's his last fight. He's like, this is still one fight too many.
Remember,
maybe they'll cancel it now. I don't know.
Yeah, he should. Didn't Dana write Chuck Liddell off for the same thing? Like, dude, you should stop fighting as your friend.
Well, that's the thing. He just went and fought Tito and fucking, I don't know, what they fight in? Was that BK? Was that bare knuckle?
That would have been awesome if it was. I think it was Bellator.
No, it wasn't Bellator.
It was.
It was something.
Well, it was. I think it was Bellator because isn't De La Hoya involved?
It was Golden Boy. It was Golden
so it was
Boy
just
MMA.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I thought De La Hoya was partially involved with Bellator.
He owns.
too.
No, he owns Golden Boy.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. But.
Yeah. It was Golden Boy MMA. Actually, a guy at my Muay Thai gym had a great observation. He said that BJ Penn should fight Conor in a bar. They both seem to like that as the venue.
He's an old man.
He's an old guy. It'll be great. I think Conor is. I tell you what, though, I am very impressed with Conor every time I hear him be interviewed because he is a guy that I feel like is going to give you a kernel of truth.
Yeah,
like he's not just going to give you headlines. Like Conor, what he's doing is an act. Like he's not same with Colby Covington. Like Colby Covington grew up as a confidant of Chael Sonnen. Like he's doing the same thing.
I had no idea.
Like they know each other. He's from Oregon.
That explains so much.
And he's not the guy that he is claiming to be, right?
Yeah.
Like he's doing a character, and it's smart to do that. Like,
did you hear Masvidal was minutes away from beating his ass at 241?
Well, Dana said that whole section, he was like, he's just like, I'm never seating all of them again. He was like, it was a bunch of 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
Just constantly getting in fights. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Like that. Yeah, I saw that interview there. Because when you watch the 241, you could see him he had stood exactly where he could be, so you could see his sunglasses, MAGA hat, and People's Champ belt
Yep.
right next to the corner man for every fighter.
He's doing it well, man. He's doing it well.
He knows what he's doing. I think he's going to get fucked up by Usman, but...
Usman. Is he even saying it? Just Usman.
It's a terrifying name.
Kamaru.
That you said Masvidal and Khabib. I want to see Usman and Khabib.
Yeah, that would be.
It wouldn't be like the most exciting fight.
I feel like Usman's so much bigger, though. So much bigger.
He is, but he's also he's pretty height wise. They're pretty close.
Yeah, because Khabib is what, like 5'11",
something like that.
Usman's probably 6 foot.
Yeah,
I don't think he's particularly tall.
Yeah,
because he's got a lot of muscle. So if he were tall, he would be leaner.
Yeah,
like skinnier.
Yeah,
and he's not skinny. No, you could not use the word skinny to describe him.
No.
God damn it! I'm still pissed.
I'm trying to feed you into
I'm
this.
just. God damn it. Anyhow,
So do you think we are actually going to get? This is not MMA related, but we haven't gotten a chance to talk about the announcement that we're finally getting Fury versus Wilder 2.
Yeah.
That's going to be in February.
I think now, well, one thing that really pissed me off in the boxing world, I know this is not at all related to what you just said, but Anthony Joshua versus Ruiz in Saudi Arabia.
Yes. At 2:00 in the afternoon on a Sunday.
You have a Mexican heavyweight champion. How do you not have that fight in Los Angeles or Miami or wherever there's a large Latin American population?
Where did they fight the first time?
Vegas.
Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Or
Mexico is a very simple answer because there's a lot of guns and drugs and angry people in Mexico.
Or about UK?
Yeah.
I think that would be a little fucked up, though, because he lost. Like, why would you go? Why would the champion go to the country of origin of the guy who he beat?
Yeah.
But
there's Saudi Arabia's big money. That's all that really comes down to. That's apparently even with WWE now. Undertaker wasn't going to do WrestleMania this year, but he's going to go to Saudi Arabia because it's a shit ton of money.
No, yeah, he goes every year. He'll do that till he literally is the Undertaker.
Until
he actually is the dead man.
Until he is undertaken.
Oh man. Well,
yeah,
we're very close to the witching hour.
We are.
What would you think is the ideal length for one of these? It's proven to be an hour-ish.
Yeah, I think we can get away. When it comes to a lot of podcasts, especially podcasts that have a video component,
yeah,
it seems like that hour 15 mark.
If you have a guest, you can go longer.
Yeah, there's more. You could do a 2-parter kind of thing, but we're not Rogan taking up 2.5 hours of people's week.
It's funny because there was a time where I loved that.
Yeah,
that time has passed.
Oh,
I can't do the 3 hours anymore. I can't consume it. I mean, every now and again, he had that podcast with Cornel West recently. Mm-hmm. That was fucking great. If you haven't listened to that,
yeah,
cue that up on your docket because that's worth a listen. And that one, I could make it through all 3 hours pretty easily.
Yeah,
but I think in our specific context, I think maybe if we were to have a guest, we could probably do much longer.
Yeah.
But just the two of us, especially trying to do this as regularly as possible.
Yeah.
You start to understand, too. Luckily, we've done this, once every, 2 weeks usually is when we get one of these out. And we're going to try and do it more. But even once a week, just the two of us, we almost have to, limit it just so we continue to have content to talk about. Whereas
otherwise, we're going to... There's been a few episodes where we kind of... and this happens with any podcast, but we start to... cover the same topics a few times.
The 3 hours has bit him in the ass a little bit, I believe, because I'm as loyal a listener as there will ever be, and there's definitely a recycling of information. Now, I happen to love the information. I'm a huge fan of his, so I can't say anything bad about the guy. He's part of the reason I was interested in comedy and podcasting and all of this stuff just to begin with.
Yeah,
but I would just say that I think the 3 hour thing is a little exceptional. Even listen to Fresh Air with Terry Gross, best interviewer in the world in my opinion. about 45 minutes to an hour and 15, longest, And they touch upon some other topics. I do think that segments probably is something we'll have to look into at some point.
Yeah.
I definitely, one of the segments.
Just a unifying thing.
Let me pull this up real quick. One of the ideas for segments I had was reading the, so we have an email address for the show, for those of you who don't know.
That's right.
It is whitebeltsinlife@gmail.com, but the only emails we get are from spammers.
Oh.
And some of them are great.
Yes. Let's hear the best of the email bag right now.
Let's see here. Okay, here's one. From Vicky Guo, Guo. Hi, friend. Have a good day! Exclamation point. Some odd grammar there. That's how she begins the...
How do you... have a good day is not the first line of the email.
This is Vicky from LandmarkChem, all one word. We are a professional steroid manufacturer in China.
Oh.
And have been in this field for many years.
I'm excited.
We can provide steroids. I'm reading this exactly as it is. We can provide steroids, raws, powder, pre-made oil, and finished products, HGH, peptide, and SARMs.
Oh, shit.
All our products are strictly controlled before sending out package. The average purity is above 99%, and we can ship to all over the world. Our shippers are professional, and they will choose the suitable delivery express for you according to your address. The customs clearance rate is always stable and high. That's like we can get your steroids through customs.
This is like a really
actively breaking the law.
Yeah.
So if we can be,
we're really that good at smuggling drugs. Just want to let you know.
So if we can be of any further help, PLS, please feel free to let us know. We are waiting to establish long-term trade relations with you. Best wishes, Vicky. Skype, Vicky666.LandmarkChem. Wicker, WICKR is Vicky96.
Wait, what? What was that sign off? Oh, we can Skype with Vicky.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of hot, honestly.
That would be a good segment.
We should Skype with Vicky.
I can't wait to
LandmarkChem.
Open the Skype call with, "Hi, Vicky. Have a good day."
I also love that it's LandmarkChem, all one word.
All one word, LandmarkChem.
LandmarkChem. It's like a last name. That's exciting. SARMs. SARMs is terrifying. We haven't really talked about that one. That's from my understanding, SARMs is like specifically to treat like muscle wasting disease and like atrophy, like from cancer type stuff, right?
Hold on, I forgot we have another. We have an email from Bonnie from LandmarkChem.
Yo, LandmarkChem's employees sound hot.
Hi, good day. This is Bonnie from LandmarkChem. Steroid raw powders have been selling more than 10 years in our company. Quality is the most important for us. You'll get high-quality product and outstanding service here. Welcome to ask me whenever you have question. Looking forward to your reply. Thank you. Sincerely, Bonnie. Landmark Nutraceuticals, Ltd.
Nutraceuticals. There's a word that means nothing.
Instagram. Look this up immediately.
Oh.
Instagram, Bonnie.landmark. See what we got here.
This has to be not real. There's no way. Bonnie.landmark?
Yep.
Okay. What do we got? Bonnie, Bonnie.
Bonnie. Correct.
Okay. .land. Bonnie.landmark. Shipping worldwide and packed discreet.
Wow, so it's actually a thing.
That's real. She's got 63 followers, following 380 some.
Wow,
accounts.
Bonnie.
That's not Bonnie.
That's not Bonnie.
That's someone you would be led to believe is Bonnie. Bonnie's probably like an AI bot that just searches for whatever. Bonnie and Vicky are probably the same bot. And they just attach a hot girl name.
Like all beautiful things, and a picture of a house.
like all beautiful things with the like heart's eyes smiley face. Hashtag men's fitness, hashtag fitness, hashtag gym, hashtag bodybuilding, hashtag. There's just a fuck ton of hashtags after this. LandmarkChem. LandmarkChem has a great ad guy here. They've got like a fitness model with a Bollywood haircut.
Yeah, that's like if Crispin Glover took SARMs.
Yeah, actually, with mutton chops and all.
So for those out there, check out LandmarkChem.
LandmarkChem, yes, LandmarkChem.
There you go. We thought we needed segments.
We've got our first sponsorship.
We got our first segment.
It may be incredibly illegal, but we have a sponsorship.
So if you guys need steroid raw powder, you've got 2 contacts now. You got Bonnie
666
and Vicky, both from LandmarkChem. And have a good day.
Is that our new sign-off?
Hi, have a good day. I like starting the conversation with have a good day. So I think that's going to be our sign-on.
It's kind of like if you don't read the rest of the email, they at least want you to know they care about you.
Yeah, that's going to be our sign-on, not off.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Oh, boy.
Well, speaking of sign-off, this was good. I feel like the only thing that stresses me out about the video component is that I when I am home, I typically look as if I am a vagabond.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to not
we have to actually like clean up and be somewhat presentable.
Yeah. Also, I have a little self-conscious. I have like a bald. It's not like a bald spot. Listen to me qualifying it. It's like a light spot. I had like alopecia when I was super stressed a few years ago. You remember this?
Oh, yeah.
I literally would. This is scary shit for those out there. You literally take showers and you're just holding clumps of hair.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, I never lost a hair in my life, and now all of a sudden I'm just holding like enough to like grab.
Yeah.
That much hair falls out. Thankfully, 95% of it grew back, and it's kind of weird, but my barber actually told me I have new hair growth. Like it's actually regrowing hair that I had lost, which is
that's some good shit right there.
Right, yeah.
Got that vitamin D intake.
The power of metabolism, but not being stressed to the gills. But anyways, there's like a really like a thin spot, like right where like I had a natural like colic.
Yeah,
it's right in that spot, and sometimes you get, I don't know, I get self-conscious about it.
Well, now you pointed it out, so now people are going to be looking for it every time we take a video.
I got in front of it. I got in front of it.
So,
all right,
well, now
to
you're
worry about that. You won't see this video, or at least that part of it. Edited that out. But anyways, signing off. Your Rick's final words.
My final words. God. Sometimes we all find ourselves needing to have a good day. And when you need to have a good day, you need to look no further than LandmarkChem. You can find them on all social media platforms before their accounts all get taken down by the United States government after their most recent mule gets caught at the border. But apparently they're really good at getting through airport security.
Their clearance through customs is what, above 99%?
Something like that.
Yeah. So if you need to illegally smuggle steroids, I don't know why you're not calling them already.
Yeah. Well, you're not illegally smuggling anything.
No, they're doing it for you, and they're very good at it.
The fine folks at LandmarkChem have you covered.
My final words are be a chef. I'm gonna refocus on that because it robs me of sleep every night still.
Oh God!
After reminding myself it now.
I heard you talking about that with your client the other day.
Everyone has the same reaction to that story.
The chefs.
Just like, did you do anything different? And I was like, no. Still haunts me. No, my final words are Godspeed.
Yes.
And I'm going to salute because now we have a visual component.
Yeah.
So, Godspeed.
Adios.
And now we have to turn this all off.